Hey guys, this is Matt for Creative, and this is the brand new Generation 2 Polaroid Now Plus. I've taken pictures with it, I've used it, and I just want to say, just from the very get-go, there are not a lot of changes from the original Now Plus to this one. This is the original one, this is the new one. This is a new kind of forest green color, which I think works really well. And of course, you can see this one is just your classic black camera. Now, to easily see the difference between a regular Polaroid, it comes down to the stripe if you're really looking at it quickly. This is a regular Polaroid Now. It has the stripe at the top. This is the Now Plus, and all of them will have the stripe, whatever the color is, on the bottom. That's an easy way just to be able to tell these things apart. But I took some photos with this. I believe the photos that I took here came out a little bit overblown, especially when I was looking outside. I was shooting this out my window, and I decided just to kind of shoot like the outside landscape, not changing anything, any settings, anything. And the point of the Now Plus is that you can use it with your smartphone, with your iPhone, your Android, to adjust a lot of settings, including exposure. You can do double exposure. You can do a lot of things. It's like you get the regular Polaroid camera to just snap, flash or no flash. You just use that like that. This one, it is kind of made to be really like adjusted a lot. Now, let's see. Again, on this screen, at least for what I'm seeing here, this looks a little bit more tame and tan than it does in real life. At least in real life for me, it's like this is like a little bit of a sand color. This itself is not kind of a sand color. This is more of like a green, where this is a light kind of like tan sand color. But that's just kind of what it is. Also, it looks a little bit like, why does it remind me of like army colors with this little red badge and this? For me, I would think this should also be like a green tone to kind of match the environment. I know that in all cameras, and I'm kind of just looking at this now, the button is red, but it kind of, I believe it should match, or at least be maybe white. Red is a little bit Christmassy, if you asked me. But hey, at least you know where that is, and I know exactly that's why they do that. Anyway, again, took some photos, and I wanted to show you what these look like. I've given these time to process, and let me just make sure here. So this is outside my window. It's blown out. This has had time. This has had about maybe 2 hours to kind of process. I know that it takes a full 24 hours to really set in itself the colors that you'll be seeing and the contrast you'll be seeing kind of down the road. But for me, it looks very blown out. I just want to look at this myself a little bit. Yeah, you can see, like, today is a very cloudy day and it's raining, so there's no excuse for this to be overblown, and that's exactly what it is. Now, before I continue, I am using the brand new Color I-type film. This is the newest process. As far as I can tell, I believe things are exactly the same. It's just the boxes and everything here that is different, but they're taking their styling to a new place as well. You can see the Polaroid name here is different. It's on the new camera. You can see it right there. And then if you were not familiar, this is the old look of their logo. But anyway, yeah. So I took this with no filter, no anything, and I just shot this. If you didn't know, it does come with a filter pack. And let me show you the filters here before we go on to the next ones, because I did use a random assortment of filters in some of these photos here. So you have, like, that's just orange or warm. Then you have a kind of like a pinhole red, which is a little bit of an oddity for me. I'm not sure why they have this. It does make a difference, definitely in the shot, having this pinhole here. The next one we have is your yellow filter. Then you have your blue filter here. And then finally you have your prism filter. It's trying to get this. What does this look like on here? kind of fishnetty and almost kind of like a glimmer glass. Isn't that kind of interesting? I have like glimmer glass, I have the Cinebloom, I love those things for photography and stuff. So interesting, but let's take a look at more of the photos that I took here. So this one is purely a selfie, and I use that orange, really orange look, and I have nice big windows over here. And even when it is a cloudy day, it's like a gigantic light box on me. Now this was with flash. You can see the background is completely black, and it's not like that in real life. Again, this was taken maybe around 2 p.m. on a Saturday, and again, using that orange filter. This is just kind of what it looks like here. The next one that we have is one of my cat, and I believe I use the, was it the prism? Yeah, it was the prism setting. Now, this is him. This is the TV behind him, and the flash did go off. Can you notice anything at all? Like if this is a prism? I honestly can't see anything. Like I literally see nothing in this. Now I'm just trying to see by myself because I took this like an hour ago. Maybe there's a little bit of something right here or right here. But it is so little that I don't see anything. And again, this one's not blown out, but it's a very dark image. I would like to up the exposure, which again, with this camera, you can make those kind of adjustments before you take your picture with the app. Last but not least is that red filter where it has that kind of clear hole in it. And what do you think of this? This is my window. You can definitely tell that there is red here and there's kind of, it's not red there. I'd say it is odd. And I think the fun of Polaroid is the artistic nature of you don't know exactly what you're going to get. With the filters, it kind of adds on to that. You really don't know what you're going to get. I do have to say one thing. So as you can see, just as I love the lens cap because this protects the lens, as you can take this off, you can put a filter on it here. I really wish that filters were stackable. Not stackable. Rubber, no way to actually keep this here. Oh, by the way, while this may not fit the camera exactly, you can use these filters on this. Watch. Just kind of hangs there. Make sure you don't tilt this too much or else it goes, but you can put these over here just if you have another regular Polaroid now, because this is wider than the regular Polaroid. Just see, it's like a little bit wider here. And they do that so that you can't use the filters exactly, or else you just get the filters and put it on this. It's all about kind of adding to the value of this camera. And that's just how it is. For me personally, I really don't use the filters too much. The camera is already kind of like artsy and kind of like out there enough for me. Just casually using this. I really like using this a lot, just shooting people, and not shooting people, but like taking pictures of people. I do not mind the background being black, but I want to make sure that the people look good. Now, I did take some with black and white, and I want to show you this now. Black and white for me has always been like a clearer, crisper option. So this is the same view that we saw here. It is blown out. Again, I would consider it not contrasty enough, but again, I can adjust that with this camera. This is a picture taken from here of this little literal showcase of the camera. And I want to take a look at this here. Is it warm or is that just me? That's kind of lights here. I love the crispness of it. It seems to have not gotten the camera in focus, but it has gotten the paper towels in the back in focus. But again, I love Polaroid's black and white. It is crisp. It is just like, it's so contrasting. I like that so much. And then here is just the black and white version of myself. Of course, no filter, just this is it here. Look at that. I think the definition on there is amazing. I would I would have exposed this just a little bit more, just because it is crisp, contrasty, but I wish my face was a little bit brighter. I did use flash for this. And honestly, in the video, it seems to be brightening up the image because in real life, it looks darker than it is. And then lastly, okay, this was taken with the prism filter. You know what? It does kind of get that glimmer glass look. And you know what I think would be better than like the large prisms that they have on here is I think it would be really good with like a frosted glass. So you can see like this is like the little, like the large etching of prism on here. Where is, okay, and this is Cinebloom that I use on this professional camera here. And okay, this is without. This is with, and you can see it makes like a fogginess, a dreamlike image. I think this would be really good instead because people like the film look and this would make it even more artistic. And as far as I can tell, this is the exact same filter collection that they included with the first one. This is the exact same, a little pouch and everything, but exact same. One of the, again, another difference from the regular Polaroid now is you have your tripod mount. On a regular Polaroid now, you do not have a tripod mount. I've never used the tripod mount, but if you're going to be playing with light and if you're going to be adjusting a lot of settings and maybe a long exposure, it's good that this, you can nail this down and have this not move. I want to end this with one of, like, I think one of the big oddities, and whenever you get a Polaroid, for the last however many years I've gotten a Polaroid now, it used to come with a neck strap. The new ones, including the new Now and Now Plus, only come with wristlets. And for the longest time, Polaroid Go cameras, those smaller versions of it, which there is not a new version yet, they came with wristlets. And that was okay because they're tiny cameras. This one comes with a wristlet. And for the longest time, I've hated having something around my neck, but it is literally the only way you can carry something of this size. I cannot get on my bike and have this just dangling here. There's no way for me to have both hands using something because something like this is a large camera. It is not kind of for a wristlet unless it's your second option. It even still comes with these, so they're expecting you to buy even like the cheap version that came with it. Like, I never liked it, but I now see in its absence that it was something that was needed. Now this is something that they sell, it's thicker, it feels better against your neck, and I guess it's just something that you have to get now. Maybe they did look into how many people were using the neck strap and they thought, and maybe they just know that people don't use it, but for me, seeing the absence of it, it just doesn't work. It does not work for me. Because interestingly enough, I just thought that, okay, if you put a knot on this, you can actually use this as a wristlet if you really wanted to. But now you just can't go the other way. Two more things about this camera. I know that this has been a sporadic review, but this has USB-C now. USB-C, always going to be better than micro USB, so that means I don't have to have my, this old one is the last device that I have that really uses micro USB. I don't think I have anything else that uses it. So thankfully, this can now be retired for now, and I can just use USB-C on this, and that just helps a little bit more. I feel like I was forgetting something about this. The camera, it's basically the same as the other camera, except now charges with USB-C, has the wristlet instead of the neck strap, and of course the new color, because this does replace that kind of dark blue color, which I was a big fan of, but hey, this is going to be a nice army green. People will know that you have the new one when you have this color. And I honestly do wish that they did more with the new camera, because as far as I can tell, other than the USB-C, the quality is the same. Not much has really been changed on this, other than maybe the styling of the wording of Polaroid and again my USB-C. And then I just cannot think to just, as if you travel places, you got to put this around. This is a big camera. Again, something that is small, like my small cameras that I have here, you can have a wristlet, but for anything else, it's a little bit lacking, and I'm a little disappointed in this. All right, guys, if you have any comments or questions, put it in the comments section below. But this has been our first look at the Polaroid Generation 2, and gotta say, the color is nice. I'm a fan of the color. It looks nice. So it's always good to have a Polaroid. All right, guys, everything comment section below. Don't forget I'm on Instagram at m8b9. You can email me at matt8b9@gmail.com. I'm gonna do that thumbnail. Can I do it like this? We're gonna do an angle. What's the best angle? This is the best angle. I think that looks great. All right, guys, thank you so much. I'll see you next time.